Welcome back, everybody. Will Worsham joins us now for this week's Speaking Legal discussion, where he answers a viewer's legal question on the air. Welcome back.
Thanks.
Hello.
He says his fudge is better than mine.
Really?
Just for the record.
Well, I like this because it's not so sweet.
It's not so sweet. You put butterscotch in yours?
I put butterscotch in mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not
That does
dark
sound-
chocolate, but
I mean, that was good
Milk
fudge,
chocolate.
but you know.
But, you know,
Okay.
spoken like a lager. Okay. All right, let's move on to this week's question. And it goes thusly. My ex-wife just told me she's taking our kids to visit her parents over Christmas, but our parenting plan says this is my holiday to have the kids. What should I do? So there's a conundrum.
That's a good one for me.
Yeah, well, you know, honestly, this happens all the time.
All the time.
This time of year. This is a very busy time of year for family law lawyers for either one of two reasons. Either somebody says, it's not my weekend, but I really want the kids for this Christmas because of whatever reason, so they go
Right.
to the lawyer and try to get it changed, or what can I do? Or they just kind of do this and take the matters in their own hands and say, I don't care what the parenting plan says. I'm taking the kids. What are you going to do about it?
How does that work out?
Well, if you don't do anything, it can work out quite well, because if the other spouse doesn't challenge it, there's not a whole lot that they can do.
Right.
But the remedy here is, what am I going to do when my spouse does that to me?
Okay.
You can take this up as an emergency motion. You can file a motion in the court that's a contempt motion that says, my spouse says they're going to prospectively break the parenting plan. We need a court order not to do that. So you actually have to get the courts involved, which is very unfortunate.
Right.
But how does that happen? Like, if you're this close to Christmas and they tell you, you know, Christmas Eve, how
You
does
really
that
can't pull an
you can't do
emergency.
anything.
Yeah, well, you may not be able to get in front of a judge, and that
Yeah,
may be the thing.
right.
It may be too late. After the fact, though, there could be some penalties and some consequences there as far as what could happen. I mean, it could very well be the basis for a modification of the parenting plan or custody arrangements. If you wanted that, if one party's simply not abiding by the agreement that was made.
Okay.
And if you know that you're going to do that, you could threaten them with that, maybe, if they knew that you stuck with your word, and maybe that would change the dynamic before Christmas.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult situation, and unfortunately, what people tend to forget this time of the year, when we get into situations like this, is it's really about the kids.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's not creating a good holiday memory for anybody when you do that. I mean, the best thing here is to stick with the parenting plan, or if you do need to make a modification, talk about it months in advance, come to some sort of agreement, but to just one side unilaterally say, I'm doing this, this is the way it's going to go, really screws everything up
That's
in a bad
just
way.
asking for a fight. And get back to the whole parenting plan idea, because typically when there's a divorce or there are children involved, a parenting plan happens pretty much from the get-go. That's kind of what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, if there's a divorce, that means a court got involved and figured out all the custody arrangements. A couple of things happen. One, there's a custody agreement that you have one place where the kids are primarily going to live, and the other parent gets their visitation time and their shared parenting. And it can be all across the board. Now, the consideration that the courts always make is what's in the best interest of the child. So it's not what one parent wants, it's not what the other parent wants, it's what's going to be best for the kids. And quite frankly, a lot of times parents will shoot themselves in the foot because they'll come in guns blazing, trying to make the case that they want the kids, and they don't want that other parent to see them at all. Well, the judge looks at that and says, if I give that parent the custody, they're not going to participate in a cooperative arrangement. And so oftentimes they'll say, I'm going to have to go the other way and err on the side of caution and look for which parent is going to be the most cooperative in a shared custody arrangement.
Right.
Well, and a divorce is an emotional time. And then when you add the holidays in, it's extra emotional for everybody. So I guess, would your advice be to, first of all, take a deep breath, calm down, try to talk it out, and see if you can work something out? And I mean, like you said, there may be penalties on the other end.
If you have an irrational person, it's tough to do.
It is.
Yeah.
You know?
And who defines irrational?
And in this situation here, you know, the best thing for this person to do realistically for their kids may be to not really fight about it.
Right, to just let it flow. And
we want the kids to have a good holiday. We don't want to cause them a problem. Let it happen what's going to happen, and then maybe work out the backside and say, okay, this isn't going to happen again.
Let's not do this again. Exactly. All right, if you have a legal question for Will, you can email him at wworsham@color10.com, and he will answer your question on the show. Happy holidays, Will.
Thanks. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Good to see you. All right, coming up, KOLR TV is here to talk about some upcoming events that they have. You're not going to want to miss it. Don't go away.